There are people who don't hate others, they just struggle with the noise of a crowd, the chatter, laughter, and constant need to perform. They hesitate before saying yes to an invitation, finding social gatherings more draining than uplifting. It's not arrogance or coldness, it's self-preservation. For them, every conversation opens another mental tab, every smile another layer of effort. They pick up on micro expressions, subtle tones, and energy shifts, an emotional sensitivity that leaves them overstimulated. This isn't about fear, it's about exhaustion. Psychologists describe introversion not as a lack of social desire, but a craving for meaning. These individuals avoid the superficial chaos of large groups because their nervous systems seek sincerity. When they say, "I'd rather stay in," it's not laziness, it's returning to balance. Social events unconsciously trigger the brain's ancient survival scan. Am I accepted? Am I safe? For those deeply attuned to emotional nuance, this scanning never stops, and soon the mind prefers peace over performance. Yet paradoxically, those who avoid crowds often crave connection the most. They long to be understood, to share something real without the pressure to perform. They want intimacy without exhaustion, presence without pretense. Avoidance isn't about rejecting people. It's about seeking authenticity. Some psychologists identify high sensory processing sensitivity, where people literally process more information per second. Crowds, loud music, and overlapping voices don't just distract them, they hurt. Their withdrawal is protection, not weakness. Society misunderstands this sensitivity, praising the loud and outgoing while misjudging quiet reflection as aloofness. But for many, stillness isn't emptiness, it's survival. Emotional avoidance often forms early when a child learns it's safer to listen than to speak. Over time, stillness becomes identity, and socializing becomes performance. These individuals carry vast inner worlds, creative, empathetic, observant. Their silence births thought and depth, yet prolonged isolation can become a cage. Each no brings relief but strengthens avoidance, trapping them in what psychology calls the avoidance cycle. The antidote isn't forced socializing, it's gentle exposure. Attending briefly, making one call, or connecting in quieter spaces. Healing starts when the nervous system learns that connection doesn't always mean danger. Awareness, once a source of anxiety, can become grounding when paired with presence and breath. Many who avoid crowds are deeply loving and attentive, giving their full presence to those they trust. Their connection is quiet but genuine. Evolutionarily, not everyone was meant to lead the tribe. Some were meant to observe and sense danger, their sensitivity a survival trait. Today, that same awareness detects emotional undercurrents others miss. The modern world, however, glorifies visibility, equating noise with worth. But social avoidance isn't laziness, it's rebellion against overstimulation. Still, peace without connection can turn into numbness. Balance lies in finding relationships that honor both quiet and connection. Solitude isn't escape when it's used for reflection. True growth happens when you can step out of it without betraying yourself. Avoidance becomes awareness when you choose peace consciously instead of out of fear. The world needs listeners as much as talkers, people who feel the room before they speak, who engage deeply rather than frequently. Social wisdom isn't about attending every event, it's knowing where your energy belongs. Those who avoid crowds aren't rejecting life. They're waiting for something real enough to join. They build inner worlds where silence heals and authenticity survives. When they finally re-enter the world, they do so grounded and whole, offering presence instead of performance. Because real connection doesn't begin in noise. It begins in solitude, in knowing yourself deeply enough to show up truthfully. Their quiet isn't absence, it's depth. And when they return, they don't seek attention, they bring peace, and that's the truest kind of connection there is.